Former high school star LaVar Christopher Ball had big dreams of having his three sons in the NBA, and for a while, it looked like that dream might come true until his middle son, LiAngelo, dropped the ball. Despite learning the ropes at a young age and showcasing his talents at summer leagues, training camps, and even the G League, LiAngelo's NBA dreams hit a snag when he found himself entangled in a controversial situation. But what exactly did he do? And is he really as bad as we think he is? LiAngelo Robert Ball is the second of a three-sibling basketball dynasty known as the Ball brothers. Their mother, Tina Ball, was a top basketball prospect in her time, while their father, LaVar Ball, represented teams like Cal State Los Angeles and Washington State. So it was perhaps written somewhere in the stars that at least one of the Ball brothers would go on to play in the NBA. To achieve this, LaVar taught them the basics from an early age. Like his siblings, LiAngelo started off competing against older kids. And when I say older, I mean that in every sense of the word. While he was still in kindergarten, Jello was playing against 4th and 5th graders. By the time he turned 4, he was already doing light work in the gym. This intense level of practice in the gym and on the court made him superior to his peers and prepared him for the tough competition he would face in high school. LiAngelo had his older brother Lonzo for company in high school, and within a short while, they became the focal point of a dominant Chino Hills team. As a sophomore in June 2014, Jello suffered a foot injury that prevented him from participating in a Fairfax High School competition. However, he made a remarkable comeback 3 months later, scoring 35 points to win the Ron Massey Memorial Fall Hoops Classic. Fast forward to December 2014, Jello dropped a staggering 53 points in the blowout win over Dorsey High School. 1 year later, LaMelo joined Lonzo and Jello at Chino Hills, meaning the Ball brothers lineup was now complete. But Jello made sure to distinguish himself from his brothers and teammates with some standout performances. An incredible scoring run in December 2015 saw him drop 32 points in a City of Palms Classic quarterfinal game against Montverde Academy. He followed up with 40 points in the semifinal victory over High Point Christian Academy and 41 points against Jonesboro High School. This impressive run continued into the new year, with LiAngelo scoring 32 points against Etiwanda High School in February 2016 and 31 points against Sierra Canyon 1 month later. The Chino Hills would go on to win the state championship with a 35-0 record, thanks to Jello's red-hot form and the contributions of his teammates. As a senior, LiAngelo continued to produce eye-catching performances, and he was duly rewarded for it. By the end of his time in high school, he received an honorable mention All-American selection by Max Prios. The San Bernardino Sun and Inland Valley Daily Bulletin also voted him as the All-Area Player of the Year. LiAngelo was clearly leaving high school as a superstar. His step up to college basketball didn't go as planned. To understand where LiAngelo got it wrong and why he couldn't replicate his high school form at college, we need to rewind a bit. After a successful high school basketball career, Jello's older brother Lonzo joined the UCLA Bruins, where he spent 1 year before he was drafted as the second overall pick by the LA Lakers. LaVar's dream of having his three sons in the NBA was beginning to shape up. In fact, Daddy Ball was so sure he'd get his wish that he made this bold prediction live on air.
All gonna play for the
They're
Los
all gonna
Angeles
play for the
Lakers.
Lakers. Welcome to the new Big Three, the Ball era.
Following his brother's footsteps, LiAngelo joined UCLA and featured in a preseason game against Cal State Los Angeles on the 1st of November 2017. But a few days before their season opener in Shanghai against Georgia Tech, LiAngelo and two of his teammates were arrested. They had been caught stealing from a local store and were facing the possibility of fines or jail terms of between 3 to 10 years. However, they were left off the hook after a timely intervention from President Trump. Now back in America, LiAngelo was suspended indefinitely from the UCLA basketball program. Sensing that this suspension could last the whole season and jeopardize his dream of seeing all of his three sons in the NBA, LaVar advised Jello to withdraw from UCLA. A move to Prienai in the Lithuanian Basketball League was arranged for both LiAngelo and his brother LaMelo. This attracted criticism from the American media even more so because after the arrival of Jello and LaMelo, Prienai withdrew from the Baltic Basketball League and started to participate in different exhibition games sponsored by Big Baller Brand, a company co-founded by LaVar Ball.
Do you have a problem with him pulling LiAngelo out of school under these circumstances?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I don't like it at all. I think it sends an incredibly bad message. I think it's real unfortunate that he's going this route, and I think that he's not treating it with the seriousness that it deserves.
Things weren't looking too good for LiAngelo on the court either. He didn't score a single point for Prainu Vytautis as the team lost against Liet Kabelis on the 13th of January 2018. The former high school superstar would go on to redeem himself, though, as he dropped 13 points in a tight victory over Chalet in February. By March, LiAngelo was beaming with confidence after scoring 72 points in his team's blowout win against Guangdong. So, he declared for the NBA draft. Just like it was when he moved to Lithuania, this announcement sparked a lot of criticism from a large section of the American media who thought that he had no chance of getting drafted.
Question for all the fellas here.
No.
Okay.
No.
Hell no.
Didn't lend itself towards them spending years or months or whatever the case may be in a China prison.
Some even claimed that his incredible 72-point performance in Lithuania was staged.
If you average 15 points in an above average high school league, and then you enter your name in a draft and you score 72, it's called staged.
LiAngelo wasn't giving up on himself though, and as always, he had the blessings of Daddy Ball.
Yes, snatched up tonight on draft night. That's the goal. Don't underestimate this one right here.
But as many analysts had predicted, the 2018 NBA draft ended without LiAngelo's name being mentioned. And when he was asked why he wasn't drafted, Jello said, "I don't know. I guess it's the way I play. I guess, or the I did off the court." Well, Jello might act like he didn't know, but most people already knew at the time that he wasn't good enough for the NBA, and it definitely wasn't about the shoplifting incident in China.
I don't think anybody's surprised that he didn't get drafted last night, Skip, because there were reported a lot of teams did not even have him on the draft board.
Yep.
In fact, after LiAngelo announced he was moving to Lithuania, Max Kellerman hinted that the LKL, Lietuvos Krepšinio Lyga, could be the highest level he'd ever play in.
You think the kid will never make the NBA, which is the consensus. Even LaVar has been on record saying, I don't know if the NBA is in LiAngelo's future. In that case, right now, this level is the highest level he'll ever play at, so an indefinite suspension.
And so far, the ESPN analyst has been proven right. So why does everyone think LiAngelo Ball isn't good enough for the NBA? The answer's short and simple. LiAngelo Ball isn't good enough for the NBA because he doesn't have the talent. I mean, looking at his numbers in high school, it's clear that LiAngelo likes to shoot, and he tends to score a ton of points when playing against opponents at that level. Not forgetting that he has a good frame as well, but he's definitely not among the top 0.1% of high school basketball players who will eventually go on to play in the NBA. As a small forward, a lot is expected from Jello every time he's on the court. This includes playmaking, grabbing rebounds, scoring from inside and outside the arc, creating wide open chances for teammates, and of course, helping out in defense. Basically, he's expected to be great at playing both defense and offense, but unfortunately, he's not good at any of those.
Done.
Okay.
You're a 6'5", small forward with a 34-inch vertical that's trying to be a shooting guard in the NBA, but you didn't show none of those skill levels in Lithuania.
So
Speaking about LiAngelo's time in Lithuania, he had a few games where he totally outclassed his opponents, even though there are claims that those games were staged. But when you look at his overall stats, he wasn't really doing anything special. Offensively, Jello averaged 12.6 points, 0.9 assists, and 2.7 rebounds per game across 14 games. His defensive stats were even worse, as he averaged 0.6 steals, 0.1 blocks, 1.2 turnovers, and 2.1 professional fouls per game. This clearly shows that LiAngelo cannot defend to save his life. There was absolutely no way he was getting drafted in the NBA, at least not with these stats. Beyond his lack of talent, Jello's poor lateral movement and weak athleticism further puts him at a disadvantage because even if he gets into the NBA, he'll struggle to keep up with the fast-paced and highly skilled players in the league.
To say it, he sucks. Okay. But I mean, for NBA standards, yes. He can shoot the ball okay, but he's not a great athlete, can't put the ball on the floor. His size is good for a two-guard, but he doesn't have the athleticism to be a good two-guard.
And for all the hype about his so-called talent, LiAngelo is too inconsistent. One minute he's hitting buzzer beaters like this.
That is different.
Here we go, Ball, 0.6 seconds, oh, we got it!
The next minute he's making the worst poor shot selections ever. I don't know what he's thinking there, but he definitely hasn't earned the right to try shots like that. Another reason why everyone agrees Jello isn't good enough for the NBA is because he's a poor ball handler. He exposes the ball a lot when dribbling, which leads to a lot of turnovers. And even in the few cases where he gets past his man, LiAngelo lacks the decisiveness and creativity to pick out teammates. Even worse, he doesn't have the speed and agility to effectively attack the basket. This brother literally cannot play ball at an NBA level, and if LaVar Ball weren't his father, we wouldn't be talking about him making the NBA. The fact that he's even gotten this far in his career is thanks to the hype that his father has created around him and his brothers. But at this point, I think we can all agree that the ship has long sailed on LiAngelo's dream to play in the NBA. His #1 fan, LaVar Ball, already knew this way back in 2017, and after the events of the last few years, LiAngelo probably knows he's better off doing something else. The Big Baller brand will definitely get a lot more customers if Jello markets the brand with the energy he uses to lift 400 pounds and the time he spends shaving his eyebrows. Okay, but all jokes aside, what do you make of LiAngelo's basketball career? Do you think he belongs in the NBA? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section.